What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, it's been a few days since I last reported on this story about the missing woman out there in St. Louis, 29-year-old Marquisha Williams. Her body has been found. I've done a video on it, and it's a tragedy. Seems like the same scenario we've seen this past year. A lot of times killed by an ex-boyfriend, co-parent. Now, in this video, I want to talk a little bit about, not about the domestic violence, epidemic that seems like it's on the rise with a lot of people out here, but I want to basically talk about the family in this video and how I commend them for the way they handled this situation during a time of tremendous loss. I'm gonna go ahead and play you this video. We're gonna come back and talk about it because I gotta be honest. I respect the hell out of these people for everything that they've went through, for them to have the composure and, to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Thankful for everybody that volunteered and helped. And I shouted out the volunteers myself and everybody in the community that came forward with it. Nothing but commendable. Check this out.
The family of Marquisha Williams is thanking the community for the outpouring of support since the mother of four went missing. It was a close gathering today. Family wanted to keep it private, understandably, as they continue to mourn. But First Alert 4 Shoshana Stahl did speak to Marquisha's aunt about the message she wants to share to honor her niece.
Don't want no other woman to go through this ever again.
Marquisha Williams' aunt Shanitha Rich is honoring the mother of four who's gone too soon. Williams' body was found Thursday, one day after her ex-boyfriend Trenton Ivy was charged with first-degree murder. Rich wants her niece to be remembered as a loving mother who cared deeply.
The kids give you love. When they hug you, you can feel the love in them come from what they've been around all their lives.
Williams' family and friends came together Friday afternoon to thank community members who stepped in during this difficult time. Search parties stretched across the Metro and Metro East for days.
With people with their cars, with gas, this time, everything everybody did, prayers, donations, whatever it was, we just want to tell everybody we greatly, greatly thank them for everything that they done.
Rich says hearing Williams' body was found gave the family some sense of closure.
We know we can put some heart to knowing that she can be properly laid to rest, and she's just not in the wilderness alone.
Cynthia Danley is the executive director at Safe Connections, an organization working to end domestic violence in the Metro. Danley says calls and texts to their helpline increase during this time of year, and she wants people in the community to know there are resources available.
Pay attention to the red flags, gaslighting, if that person is trying to control or isolate you, to pay attention to the different signs, different things that are happening with that individual.
Rich says she's praying for other women who could be in similar situations and wants them to know they aren't alone.
If you're out there and you are a woman and you're going through this, please, please tell somebody and get some help. Don't go through this alone. Don't suffer in silence. Please, if you can, get away.
There is a GoFundMe to donate to help Williams' kids. In St. Louis, Shoshana Stahl, First Alert 4.
All right, guys, that's the story. And like I said, man, these are stand-up folk. Both the mother and the father spoke in the other video I had, and you could see they was worn out, not only from the search efforts, but from the devastating news that they've lost their daughter. And like I said before, you can't fix the unfixable. Now, supposedly they had broke up last year and was trying to co-parent. Soon as I heard that, when I read that in the article, co-parenting sometimes, when you deal with a lot of dudes, and I'm only speaking from a male standpoint, a lot of times if the guy can't have you, it interrupts with his relationship with the children. Because a lot of times he was with you before he had said, children with you. Now, granted, I don't know if all of the children was his or not. I know they did share a 2-year-old. But the bottom line is this: you don't kill the mother of your damn children. You don't. Co-parenting is never easy. And neither is a breakup. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at her in her pictures, you could see she was about something. I mean, that sounds strong, but I want you to really pay attention. A lot of you start looking at these videos that I do. Start looking at the people that they show that are victims, and look at how the relationship they had with their children. You can tell a lot about a woman, about how she got her stuff together by the way her children look. In the videos they've shown, every video they've shown, the house was clean. The children were very upkept. That shows that this young lady came from something, and she died for nothing. You heard what I said? She came from something and died for nothing. Can't fix the unfixable. This guy got locked up, admitted that he took the life of this woman. And I guarantee you, by the way the family was, they was all right people. They looked like stand-up people. When her father got on that on the news and spoke, and he said, now I got the responsibility of taking care of my child's children, that really hit me hard. Because now he'll see his daughter in her daughters and see her in her sons as well. And that's hard. That's hard for anybody to go through. I mean, I want you to really be empathetic in this situation. The reason why I do stories like that, like this, is because when you watch them on the news, sometimes you get desensitized because it's the same thing going over and over in your head. I just bring a little bit of intellectual knowledge to the situation and empathy to let you know how people feel. I try to put myself in the victims from a victim standpoint. Now, I don't know Marquisha, but I know the pain of losing somebody, whether it's in the street or it's just of natural causes. Hurt is hurt, and it's universal. This should have never had happened. Mr. Ivy, that girl seen something in you to give birth to a child for you, to show that you had something special about you, and for her to engage in a relationship with you. There was things that I honestly believe that made you special to her, but you didn't work on those things and accentuate them. Did you hear what they said in the video? In the video where the lady was talking about crisis management and domestic abuse hotlines and stuff? Use them. If anybody out there is victims and hear me, use those. Because I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing worse than getting jumped on by somebody and they're really trying to hurt you. And you don't know if you're going to survive this whipping or not. Especially if children are involved. You can't just think about you. You got to think about the lives of your children. Because the ultimate thing is this. You don't want to be left. You don't want to be taken out of here and have your children left with this monster. This is an unfortunate event. It'll keep going until we fix it. There are people out here, like in the video, the lady said, you know, you got to look out for the signs. Gaslighting, control, isolation. There are a lot of people out here like that. Men that put their hands on women are weak. They are, and they're very childlike. A lot of it is tantrum based. They'll throw tantrums. I've made a video about the type of dudes to avoid. Also the type of women to avoid, because this is a two-way street here, people. I done had women in my life where, you know, it wasn't even weeks into the relationship and I see pirate flags, not red flags, and I try to break it off and they see me as somebody of value and threaten to take my life because, you know, I want to end things and I know that this is not going the way I planned it. Men dictate if they're going to be relationships or not. A woman also has a right to end that relationship like she did. Nothing wrong with that. You know, if something was wrong with that, we wouldn't have no options and choices in life. when you quit a job, you'd never be permitted to work again and you'd starve. There are always choices and chances. He ruined his. We've seen it time and time again. A lot of people want to get away from people that ain't doing right and are not, conducing to the growth that the other person requires. And it's like, some men are not leaders. They're not. This whole situation, and I mean, like I always say, the whole situation is bad. Yeah, but I mean, 4 babies are left behind. Wondering why. In addition to the family. The family, like I said in the beginning, are stand up. They had the nation, the ears of the nation watching them. They conducted themselves in a professional, respectable manner on TV. They was hurt, you seen it. But they was representing their daughter. Now, supposedly they're having a service and it's closed to the public. I think it's very small. That's their choice. But they did do something that I thought was commendable. They didn't act the fool. They never really badmouthed Trenton Ivy. They didn't. They just said, we hope you get everything you come, and that's all you can hope for. Character. That's what we need out here. People with good character. They spoke in representation of their daughter, who's no longer here, and died in a vicious, heinous way. And they sat up there with their chin up high, knowing that as parents, they did the best they could. And they seen the example of their parenting through the child, even though she had an untimely demise. The community responded. People came from all over. Now, granted, her body was found in Illinois, outside of Chicago, but it was found. This moron caught in Wisconsin with her car. To the family, you get my sincerest condolences. It's not your fault. You raised a good girl. And this guy couldn't see it. But they did thank the volunteers, and I thank the volunteers. That's what we need to do. When the first word of community is to commune. They came together. They answered the call for someone that needed help. Possibly they didn't even know Marquisha or her family, but they know the pain. That universal suffering and pain is something that needs to draw all of us together to help strangers. When somebody needs help, you answer the call. This stuff is not going to go away until we start fixing it. And if it means siding with somebody, you may not like them as a person, but you see they're hurting and it might help, a situation. Do it. Pain is temporary, but scars are forever. The family's forever scarred. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I just think about the kids, man. They was young. Mother leaves the house with the boyfriend. I don't know if they was arguing in the house at that time or whatever, but she never returned. And it was right before Christmas. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.